Hello everyone, this is the history tutorial video for class 12. In the previous video we were doing land grants given by kings to Brahmins and people, important people. Now as we have seen, many cities were capitals of the Mahajanapads, the 16 big cities which were connected throughout the subcontinent. They were called the Mahajanapads. So many of these cities, many of the important cities were capitals of the Mahajanapads. Virtually all major towns were located along the routes of communication because very specifically important routes of communication or important routes of trade pass through important towns, which actually makes the towns important. So uh, some such as Pataliputra were on riverine routes. Pataliputra was a town which was surrounded by riverine routes, river routes. Others like Ujjaini were along land routes, and others like Puhar were near the coast, from where the sea routes began. Many cities like Mathura were bustling centers of commercial, cultural, and political activity. We have seen that kings and the ruling elites lived in fortified cities. They had fort cities. Although it is difficult to conduct extensive excavations at most sites because people live there even today, not like the Harappa and Mohenjo-daro civilizations, where the cities were deserted. People continue to live in Mathura till now. People continue to live in the Magad, Pataliputra area, which is now Patna in Bihar. So, excavations are difficult. A wide range of artifacts have been recovered from them. These include fine pottery bowls and with a glossy finish. These pottery bowls were probably used by rich people, and ornaments, tools, weapons, vessels, figurines, and these were all made of wide range of materials like gold, silver, copper, bronze, ivory, glass, shell, terracotta, etc. Now, by the 2nd century BC, we find short inscriptions in a number of cities. These mention the name of the donor and sometimes specify his or her occupation as well. They tell us about people who lived in towns: the washermen, the weavers, the scribes, writers, the carpenters, potters, goldsmiths, blacksmiths, officials, religious teachers, merchants, and kings. So basically encompassing all the people who were inclusive in a kingdom, who were included in a kingdom. Sometimes guilds, guilds were called shrenis, organizations of craft producers and merchants. They are mentioned as well in these inscriptions. These guilds probably procured raw materials, regulated production, and marketed the finished product. It's likely that craftsperson used a range of iron tools to meet the growing demands of the urban cities. From the 6th century BC, land and river routes crisscrossed the subcontinent and extended in various directions, overland to Central Asia, or even beyond that, overseas into the Arabian Sea to North Africa, West Africa, through the Bay of Bengal to Southeast Asia and China. So these riverine routes, these sea routes, these land routes, they are extending beyond the subcontinent as well. Rulers often attempted to control these routes, possibly by offering protection for a price. Those who traversed these routes included peddlers who probably traveled on foot. So, walkers basically. Merchants who traveled with caravans of bullock carts and pack animals like horses. Also, there were seafarers, sea people who ventured in whose ventures were risky but highly profitable. Successful merchants, designated as Masattuvan in Tamil, they could become enormously rich if their ventures are successful. A wide range of goods were carried from one place to another, like salt, grain, cloth, metal ores, finished products, stone, timber, medicinal plants, spices, especially pepper. They were in high demand in the Roman Empire, and the textiles and medicinal plants, they were all transported across the Arabian Sea and the Mediterranean Sea into the Roman Empire. These materials had high demands. Now, to some extent, coins were used as a medium for exchange of goods. Punch marked coins were made of silver and copper from the 6th century BC, and they were among the earliest coins to be minted and used. These have been recovered from excavations at a number of sites throughout the subcontinent. Numismatists, those who study coins, they are called numismatists. So, numismatists have studied these and other coins to reconstruct possible commercial networks. Attempts made to identify and the symbols on those coins, punch marked coins, with specific ruling dynasties. So every ruling dynasty had their own mark, they had their own symbol, including the Mauryas. So they suggest that these were issued by kings. It is also likely that merchants, bankers, and townspeople issued some of these coins. The first coin to bear the names and images of rulers were issued by the Indo-Greeks. The Indo-Greeks were the people who settled in the northwest after the Mauryan Empire. They had the remaining Greeks and intermingling with the Indian people. They had risen a race of mixed blood people known as the Indo-Greeks. So, the first coins to bear the names and images of the rulers, those were introduced by these Indo-Greek people. The first gold coins were issued by the Kushanas. These were virtually identical to weight with those in contemporary Roman Empire and the Parthian rulers of Iran. So, the Parthian rulers of Iran and the Roman Empire, they also used these coins which the Kushanas used. They have been found in several sites in North India and Central Asia. Kushana Empire, it spread from Central Asia to North India. The widespread use of gold coins indicates the enormous value these transactions had. Besides, hoards of Roman coins have also been found from archaeological sites in South India. It is obvious that networks of trade were not confined within the political boundaries. South India was not a part of Roman Empire, but there were close connections through trade. So that is how South India had these huge coins from the Roman Empire. Roman coins were found in South India. Coins that were also issued by tribal republics such as the Yodhayas of Punjab and Haryana. Archaeologists have unearthed several thousand copper coins issued by the Yodhayas, pointing to the latter's interest and participation in economic exchanges. So the tribal kingdoms also issued coins in their names. Some of the most spectacular gold coins were issued by the Gupta Empire. The earliest issues are remarkable for their purity. These coins facilitated long distance transactions from which kings also benefited. If you remember from the lower classes, one coin which was very famous among the Gupta rulers was the coin of Samudragupta, which depicted the king playing the veena. So, Gupta coins were very remarkable in look as well as their material. From 6th century onwards, finds of gold coins taper off. So, gold coins are slowly being reduced from the 6th century. Does this indicate that there was some kind of an economic crisis? Historians are divided on this issue. Some suggest that with the collapse of the Western Roman Empire, long distance trade declined, and this affected the prosperity of the states. Others argue that new towns and networks of trade started to emerge around this time. They also point out that through the finds of coins of that time, gold coins were fewer. But coins continued to be mentioned in inscriptions and texts. So this was the issue of coins which we discussed, how coins facilitated trade, how coins built trade routes, joined empires together, and the decline of one empire might have had any effect on another empire which benefited from the trade from the previous empire. So this, we are done up till here. In the next video we will try to decipher the Brahmi and the Kharoshthi script. Till then, bye.